Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyanamita Sukihotu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 27 by Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima. Very happy that tonight we are going to discuss a new topic, which is Sigālovāda Sutta, the fourth sutta from the total of 10 sutta that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. Whoever interested to join the Zoom class where we can engage directly with Bhante can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Perdana Klang's Facebook Messenger. We are welcoming newcomers. However, this class also will be broadcast on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Perdana Klang Facebook page and YouTube channel. Please allow me to introduce our speaker. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima currently is the Senior Advisor at Sutta Canada, a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginners as well as expert students in learning Dharma in variety of ways. Many people are interested in Dhamma Pariyesana, Patisotta's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on regular basis. You can check on Patisotta with the link www.patisotta.blogspot.com. Bhante Chandima earned a PhD in Buddhist Studies in 2015 from University of Sri Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 to 2015, Bhante served as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, Bhante was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society of the University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante. Thank you very much for the talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Aliana, for the introduction.
Good evening, Bhante.
And everybody here, Kim, Sita, I think Lim's son is going to be there, Sadhris, Dihan. I think we have a new gentleman here, Eddie, and Vinita. I hope a couple of might be joining as we discuss the second day of the Sigālovāda Sutta. Today, we are going to be discussing what you call the second, I would say today is day 27, if you look at the overall number of the days that we've been doing the discussions. But Sigālovāda Sutta's particular discussions, if you consider them, it's going to be the second day. So these discussions are interconnected. So that is why it's good to keep an eye on these. Otherwise, you might probably not able to keep track on that, because it's always a bunch of stuff every day. And then I know there are situations where you can't make it, but keeping track of what we've been doing rather than a knowledge and making it as a practical thing will be the best, because you can read suttas over and over on the internet, right? But that doesn't make sense. Just because you read many suttas, you won't get it. So you have to learn it through a framework so you understand it, right? It's like the research. You can't do the research without putting your knowledge into a methodology, right? A framework. So it's the same thing. So before we start off, let's pay respect to the Buddha 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Okay, so I think those of you who could not show up last week probably might have been able to take a look of what we did, because we discussed about the background story about the Sigālovāda Sutta, and we, I think, sort of dispelled a lot of, I would say, misconceptions about the story, the popular story that many people make, say Dhamma speakers even talk about. They say, they guess about Sigala's, what do you call, the son who was respecting six directions, could have been misled by his father and mother. Of course, it was not the case. His father and mother were both Sotapannas. But just as Anathapindika's son, what was his name? Anathapindika's son, Kala. The Kala was somebody who did not like to go to temple, right? So the Anathapindika told Kala, could you go to the temple? I'm going to give you this many of money to you, this much of money to you. I'm going to give you 500 kahapanas at that time, the golden money. At that time, there were no paper bills and coins. It was mainly materials. He said, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to the temple because I'm going to get money after I come back from the temple. So I'm going to connect this story to Sigala's story. And then he went to the temple. He just sat down. He didn't want to learn anything. He was just looking at the Buddha and other people. There are many folks like that too, right? Looking at the folks and, okay, yeah, that's it. And then when other people ask you, what did the monk told? What did it tell today? Probably the Atanatiya Sutta or Alavaka Sutta, where the demons have a struggle, They don't know what it is. Probably the sutta was as deep as they thought, right? And then Kala didn't have any idea. He just went there to get money from father. But one day the father increased the money that he could give. So on that day, Anathapindika asked him, could you learn one Dhamma thing, one Dhamma factor from the Dhamma talk? Just one, just a small Dhamma, little Dhamma factor. I'm gonna increase the money. Yeah, I'll do that. It's money, right? It's all money, right? Money talks. And then he went. He was trying to pick the first Dhamma thing and then forget about all the other things and plan to come back home. He wants the money. He needs only one Dhamma thing to learn. But Buddha knew that. So Buddha made him not to be able to learn one Dhamma thing. The Buddha was making him to understand all the interconnectedness of Dhamma factors, of the whole Dhamma talk. So by the end of the Dhamma talk, he became a Sotapanna. He became a Sotapanna. Kala. And then on the following day, when the Buddha and other monks came to the Anathapindika's house, Anathapindika didn't know what happened to his son. He, after the dana, he was trying to give an envelope or something, the money, to his son. Then the son denied the money. He said, Pathavya eka rajjena saggasagamanena va sabba lokadi pachena sotapatti pala. This is the idea of the Sotapanna. Now you will connect this to your Dhamma knowledge. If somebody is to give me the whole universe, Pathavya Ekarajjena, and all the other things, even the heavens and all the good things. But I think now I understand, becoming a Sotapanna is the most important, the most valuable thing to do. That means getting all this comfort, even the whole world, not like a king or queen, the whole world. If somebody is to give to me, but I don't accept that, I want to attain Sotapanna. So the Kala was persuaded by the Buddha that even though he was driven by the money. In the same way, Sigala's case, Sigala's father, mother, they were all Sotapannas, but they knew that son doesn't like to come to the temple. He was saying different things. He was saying to his mother and father, I don't like to come because if I go there, I have to bow down, sit on the floor. If I spend some time, I have to talk to them. And if I talk to them, I have to become closer to them. I have to give dana and all that. So it's ridiculous for me. I don't like that. And my clothes getting, dirty. So they knew that their son is not coming to the temple at any point. So they made a they made a, I would say, a plan, a strategic plan. The plan was, we're gonna give him an idea. The idea looks a little bit secular. Son, when we die, you have to respect 6 directions, right? But the son got it in a way, these are the standardized directions: south, west, north, east, and so and so forth. But they knew when the son is going to do this direction, what you call respecting of the directions, in the morning, definitely he will be met by the Buddha. Then the Buddha will tell him, these are not the directions. This is the story. I mean, just a sneak peek of the story, which we discussed last Friday. And we discussed also the first section of the sutta. That means if you look at the Pali section, it was up until the second Chattaro Kamma Kilesa, right? But in English document, the translation, it is up until number 3. Okay. Sorry, up on number 4. So today we are going to start from number 5 from the English doc PDF and number 3 from the Pali doc. Make sense? Okay. Actually, we discuss about the 4 actions that will make you what do you call an impure person, right? The killing, stealing, misbehaving, and panatipata, musavada, parda, right? So those 4, right? Killing, stealing, lying, and then misbehaving, right? Those 4 things are the what do you call the most impure actions that a layperson can do, right? Okay, so today we are supposed to do number 3 in Pali. Who wants to read? Chatutthana. It's always good to have a challenge, right? In Pali, nobody's going to be perfect, but at least this energy of trying to be reading, it's good. Chatutthana. Okay, so who would like to read? Probably we could ask something from this gentleman. Eddie, can you hear us?
Okay.
Yeah, Bhante, I can hear you, but I'm lost because because I'm attending this for the very first time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But don't be lost though. you always can.
I'm lost. I'm lost. Yeah.
You always can catch up on the thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I will try. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Read.
Yeah, please.
Chatutthana. Kata mehi chatohi ta nehi papa kamam na karoti. Chanda katim ganchato.
Gacchanto, not N. Gacchanto.
Papa kamam karoti. Dosa katim gachanto. Papa kamam karoti. Moha katim gachanto. Papa kamam karoti. Baya katim gachanto. Papa kamam karoti. Yatoko gahapatiputa ariyasa wako neva chanda katim. Gachati na dosa gatim gachati. Na moha gatim gachati. Na baya gatim gachati. Imehi chatohi tenehi papa kamam.
Chatohi tanehi.
Tanehi papa kamam na karoti ti.
Okay, great. Yeah. Aliana, can you do me a favor? Eddie should not have, I guess, the text and the English translation. Could you copy and paste on the chat for everybody, if you could? the Sutta Central one and English one, so he can. Otherwise, he might be thinking, "What is this? I'm even getting more lost." Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhante. Yeah, thank you,
Okay,
Bhante.
no problem. Okay, so great, Kim. Yeah. I mean, I can't say little improvements. I mean, improved a lot. Yes, but little things in Pali, there are little things, so don't worry. Let me read. Chatutthana, okay, ta. Now see where how do we find out ter? There's no ter. You might see ter. You see the dot under the T, that is ter. In Pali, we say in this Romanized language in Pali, if there is a dot under T, that is not ter, it is ter, right? In Pali. Chatutthana. Thana means place, 4 places. Katamehi chatuhi thanehi papakamman nakaroti. Chanda gatin gacchanto papakamman karoti. Dosa gatin gacchanto papakamman karoti. Moha gatin gacchanto papakamman karoti. Bhaya gatin gacchanto papakamman karoti. Yato ko. When there is a what you call a comma, it is better that you need to stop. Keep saying gahapati put comma Arya Savako neva chanda gatin gachati. Na dosa gatin gachati. Na moha gatin gachati. Na bhaya gatin gachati. Imehi chatuhi dhanehi papakamma na karoti ti. Why karoti ti? Karoti ti. This is a story somebody saying, indirect speech and direct speech. Somebody saying, this happened at that time, Rajagahanura, this place, and this is how it happened. Now, it's a narrative style. Karoti iti. Okay. That is how it is, given. Okay, now let me tell you briefly what is this about. Now, in the earlier, I would say the previous section, we talk about the 4 impure actions. What are they? Now we come to the revisions. What are the impure actions that we talked in the previous section?
Don't harm, don't harm
Do
me.
not kill, do not steal, do not misbehave, do not lie.
Right.
Do people steal other people's happiness? Do people steal other people's happiness sometimes? They're going to eat a lot, eat everything today. Other people can't eat enough. They steal their happiness. Today, lunch happiness, they destroy their lunch happiness. So people cannot even take what is not given. People can even take other people's happiness. It's a big thing. I think we already discussed. Now let's look at why people are motivated to do bad things, bad actions. Is it interesting? Why? Because we rather say, okay, this guy killed an animal. This person stole somebody's money and all that. That's not given. This person misbehaved. This person lied. Right? On the surface, they are bad actions. But why? How do they happen? What are the reasons behind that? Buddha said, find the reasons. Why we are supposed to find the reasons? Come, folks. Why? Why are we supposed to find the reasons of every action of other people and ours?
So we know the root cause, Bhante?
What's the theory behind that? Because we are taught a theory for that. Why is it? Now, why, for example, if you're bitten by a mosquito, if you ask a question about should I kill or what should I do? Should I let the mosquito drink blood from me or should I kill? It's a hard question, right? Then why we have to go back to why the mosquito came inside of your house? Why he came inside? Are you in a place where there are a lot of mosquitoes living? Probably your house is like not clean and tight. Probably you are not organized, so the mosquitoes keep coming. Maybe you are not closing the doors. So why we go back to the reasons part? Some people might say, no, sometimes we don't need to look at solutions based on the reason. We need the outcome also. Yes, why not? But why in Buddhism, for these cognitive problems, psychological problems, why we have to go back to the reason? Why is it? Yeah, Sadhus?
Yeah, maybe to get the right understanding of why people do it, and so that we, with the right understanding, will be able to avoid from doing it.
Yeah, that's a good point. But why? Why? There's a theory behind. Now I'm helping you to come up with the answer. Why? There's a theory behind that. What is the central theory in Buddhism? The central theory, the path is the four, what you call the Noble Eightfold Path. That is what we are supposed to practice in whatever the ways. But what is the central theory in Buddhism?
Avoid all evils and purify our mind.
Not according to what we know. The central theory in Buddhism is Paticca Samuppada, cause and effect theory. This is what the Buddha, this is what the Buddha says, why we are born, why we die, where we gonna go, why we do transpersonal, why we listen to Dhamma, why we need to become an Arahant. Cause and effect. This is the central theory in Buddhism. Okay. Because of that theory, we are supposed not to do bad things, do good things, cultivate our mind, and do all the XYZ things, etc., etc. The central theory is Paticca Samuppada theory. Okay. So Paticca Samuppada means it's a very deep theory. Paticca means repetitive, dependent. So all the causes and effects are interdependent. They are not independent, right? There are 12 parts. They are interdependent. There is nothing independent in the Dhamma. If you say something is independent, then that means that is not a part of the anicca, impermanence, right? Everything is mutually dependent upon other cause and effects. Then somebody might ask, what is the cause of the first reason, the first component? Avidya paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya vijnanam, vijnana paccaya namarupam, namarupa paccaya salayatanam, salayatana paccaya passo, passa paccaya vedana, vedana paccaya tanha, tanha paccaya upadana, upadana paccaya bhavo, bhava paccaya jati, jati paccaya jara maranam, soka parideva dukkha domana supayasa, sambhavanti. 12 parts. Somebody might question, then what is the reason for avijja? Ignorance. Any guesses about it? It is said that because we don't know exactly the Four Noble Truths, we are reborn. What's the reason of our rebirth? What's the reason of our rebirth?
Craving.
That's the immediate reason, Sadhus. Immediate reason is the craving. Yeah. Not even actually craving. Tanha paccaya upadana, upadana paccaya. The clinging is the immediate reason, and close to that reason is the craving. But it is not the fundamental cause of our rebirth. Our fundamental, the primary reason of our rebirth is avijja. Avijja means because we don't know what the Four Noble Truths mean in their entirety, not like dukkha ariya satya, dukkha samudaya. Everybody knows this. Dukkha nirodha ariya satya, nirodha gamini patipada ariya satya. Do I understand that way? I can just read it. I can talk with somebody. But what is it? How do I connect to my life? And that there are 12 ways to do it. Tiparivatta, 3 ways, and dwadasakara, 12 ways. So that is the perfect understanding. Then you are, attaining different levels as you understand. So Paticca Samuppada is the central reason, central cause. So why I bring this to the mosquito incident is that as Buddhists, we are fundamentally asked to look at the cause of any problem before we jump on to find solutions based on the effect. So let's take mosquitoes problem. How do we look at it? Why did the mosquito come here? Okay. Keep tracking of that. And other problems, our fundamental approach is the cause and effect approach. Okay. Okay, so the 4 impure actions, killing, stealing, misbehaving, lying, they are primarily rooted in 4 fundamental causes. Let's take a look at why those 4 things happen. Now we have to go to the English document, and I can compare that with the Pali. Number 5, page number, number 2. What are the 4 causes of Dhamma folks? Please understand the English translation is not an orderly translation. It has summarized the meaning. So don't worry about comparing right away. But the idea is there. What are the 4 causes of harmful deeds? Going astray through desire, Chanda. We call it Chanda in Pali. Desire. Hatred, dosa. Delusion, which means moha. Fear, bhaya. That means people in this, not even people, beings in this universe commit bad acts based on 4 things: desire, chanda, hatred, dosa. Then delusion means moha, and then bhaya means fear. These are the 4 reasons. Do people do bad things because of fear? They do, right? They do. Let's say somebody come into our room with a knife. I'm going to kill you. Do you say to that, okay, yeah, you can kill me? No, you might try some defensive things. Why not? Right? I mean, let's talk about the truth, right? Legally, you are entitled to defend you, somebody from preventing from somebody's attacks, right? So you try to do that, right? So the idea is that people can commit probably bad things out of fear. Maybe sometimes some people do good things also out of fear. It's funny, right? Why people do good things out of fear, right? It's a little funny, but we had to look at it. So there are 4 reasons for the bad acts. Chanda, dosa, bhaya, moha. Chanda means desire, dosa means hatred. In practical terms, I would say anger, and then bhaya means fear, and moha means delusion. And then, but young man, Buddha talks to the son of the Singalas, not going astray through desire, hatred, delusion, or fear, the noble disciple, Arya Savaka, does not perform harmful deeds. Now, Dhamma folks, there is another individual has been attached to this conversation. Arya Savaka. Who is Arya Savaka? Can you guess who that is? Arya Savaka. Who can be called Arya Savaka? I'm asking very, very fundamental questions. Who is an Arya Savaka?
Arahan, Bhante.
No, Arya Savaka is not primarily an Arahan. Who is Arya Savaka? We discussed that in this Ratana Sutta. Arya Savaka start from a Sotapanna, primarily a Sotapanna. Right? Remember in our Ratana Sutta discussion, we discussed when you become a Sotapanna, you are not committing six heinous karmas. You don't kill your mother, father, killing arahants, wounding the Buddha, and then trust or believe any person, teacher, who does not talk about how to end the suffering. Those are the heinous, what we call most criminal bad acts in Buddhism. But does it mean Sotapanna person kill his brother, kill his wife and all that? Oh, he won't. But Ratana Sutta says primarily, Chachabithanani ababho kato. Where do we find it? Kincha pisokamman karoti papakam kayena vacha udacheta sava ababbo sotassa patichadaya ababbatatis parasutta. That's not. It's another stanza. It says Chachabithanani ababbo kato. 6 bad things. He or she is ineligible to commit 6 one of the 6 bad actions. Right? So then Arya Savaka means at least a Sotapanna person. So are we Arya Savakas? Are we noble disciples? Are we just disciples? Who are we? Who are we? According to the Pali interpretations. How can we be called as Arya Savakas? We haven't even touched upon, I don't know about the folks, but if we have not even touched upon the first level of attainment, so that means we can't be called as Arya Savaka. But we could be Putujjana, Kalyana Putujjana, not the Andha Putujjana, good Putujjana. And then we are still Seka, those folks who need to be disciplined. But all the folks before becoming an Arahant are called as Sekas. Only when you become an Arahant, we call that person a Seka. But primarily, we are not Arya Savakas. So Dhamma folks here, Arya Savakas, which means when you are a Sotapanna person, or perhaps somebody who is already a Sotapanna person, will never commit these. They will never have these reasons to be astray. I would say Arya Savakas, noble disciple who is a Sotapanna, will never commit any bad thing out of Chanda, Dosa, Bhaya, because they are the reasons of all the bad acts. Now we will investigate how things like that can happen. Now let me go to the Pali. Let me tell you how we have to take it. Katamehi means how many in Pali. How many of you think that you need to learn some bit of Pali to learn Dhamma? Do you think learning Pali is important? Do you think so? Yeah, it takes time. It takes time. Don't think that you're going to learn every Pali, all the Pali in one night. Huh? I know now Pali. Don't worry. It's not that kind of a learning. It's a learning that will happen day by day, right? Because you don't need to read that, as the story of somebody. It takes time. But if you learn properly, you'll be very well versed. You know how to do it. Katamehi means how many. Chatuhi tanehi. How, from how many 4 places papa kamma na karoti. Right? So that means what are the 4 places that somebody can do papa kamma? 4 places, or reasons I would say. Chanda gatin gachantu. Somebody can go astray. What is a very normal English word for this? Deviate. Deviation. If you deviate from desire, chanda, then papa kamma. If you are deviated from desire and then you do bad actions, panatipata dinadana, kamasumichacharam samvada. If you are deviated from hatred, anger, you probably do the same bad actions. If you are deluded, actually everybody who does bad karma, they are primarily driven by moha. Right? Moha. So it is what we understand here. And then bhaya means fear, right? And then the Buddha says, Yatoko Gahapati Putta. Gahapati Putta means householder. Arya Savako Neva Chanda Gatin Gachati. So the Sotapanna person will never do any bad act out of Chanda, Dosa, Bhaya, Moha. Does that mean Sotapanna person never commits any bad actions? Now it says Sotapanna person never commits any bad acts out of Chanda, Dosa, Bhaya, Moha. But that means probably out of these 4, probably except these 4 reasons, there might be a bad action, but they are not supposed to do so, because in the suttas it is only said that they only it is guaranteed that they are not doing the 6 bad karma, the most criminal actions, but still there is a probability, right? So anyways, Sotapanna person will never commit any bad act out of desire, Chanda, dosa means hatred, and then Bhaya means fear, and then Moha means delusion. Now let's talk about how do these 4, we call them agatis, deviations happen, and how are people driven by these 4 deviations. If you want to really understand these 4, I think you need a little bit of simplified knowledge of Abhidhamma. Why do I say so? These Pali words are directly discussed in the Abhidhamma. In which part of the Abhidhamma? Akusala Cetasikas. How many of you have read Abhidhamma a little bit? Okay. Have you learned about Cetasikas, mental factors? I can't hear you though. Yeah, it's okay. So don't worry about this Abhidhamma piece of knowledge, but I encourage you to learn some of the very important things of Abhidhamma now in this conversation, okay? Because otherwise you might not understand. In Abhidhamma, it is said that there are 52 mental factors. What is a mental factor? In Abhidhamma, it is said that there is no one mind. Who says there is one mind? Who says there is only one mind? When you say in English, the mind, there's one mind. Who says that? Who says it? In English, in Western perspective, there is the mind, one mind. Do they talk about 2 minds? No. About 2. But in Abhidhamma, how many minds they talk about? Do they talk about only one mind or couple minds? They talk about many minds, many minds, right? So do I have many minds? Yeah, physically I have one mind, the physical part, but in that physical part there are many thoughts arise. These many thoughts are being labeled as thought structures. It's entirely very interesting discussion. So it is said that a thought cannot arise with a mental factor, chitta, cetasika. There are 89 thoughts, it's a different discussion, but I'm looking at 52 mental factors. So thought is just what you call a cognitive ability, but the quality of the cognitive ability is called cetasika. They are being categorized as universal mental factors, immoral mental factors, and then beautiful mental factors, I would say good ones. Now we are looking at the immoral ones. How many are there? There are 14 immoral mental factors. That means each time when you do a bad thing, one or couple out of these would affect you. When you do a bad thing, if you do anything out of these 4, they will affect you. It is said that there are 4 cetasikas that carry every bad action. Interesting, huh? In order for you to do a bad action, if you want to kill somebody, steal some stuff, other people's stuff, misbehave, then I would say lie, talk behind the back, talk, very, I would say, sensitive, what you call, bad words to somebody, and then gossiping, and then overly greedy, covetous, and then ill will, having ill will, and then having vicharity. In order for you to commit one of these or couple of these, you must have moha. Because you have moha, you you are motivated to do an akusala. Make sense? So there are 4 mental factors that are commonly affecting all your bad acts. That is, one is moha. Second is ahirika. Ahirika means lack of shame, moral shame. Do you have a moral shame? I look before I come in. I can't do that. My parents are so good people, nice people. I went to Dhammas. I go to a temple. I know I can't do that. So self-questioning about the bad action before doing that. But there are folks, I don't care anybody. I just do whatever I want. Folks like that, right? So before doing anything, we believe that everybody should have this morals. But whenever you want to do a bad act, if you are driven by that, you don't have that. You have lack of morals. We call ahirika. You don't have hiri. You have ahirika. So it is a commonly affecting mental factor. So moha, ahirika. Then now you complement the rest. Anottappa. That means you don't have fear, moral fear, right? You don't have any fear. I mean, if you could think about, if I do this thing, I will get the bad karma in this life or next life. I will be charged. I will be criticized. I will probably go to jail, right? So you are feared, So that is called moral fear. But that person, when you do a bad thing, you don't have moral fear too. It's a commonly affecting immoral factor, mental factor. What could be the last one? An interesting point, an interesting mental factor. I know, you may have no sense of what it is, but it's kind of Abhidhamma part. Uddacha. But you know Uddacha. How do you know Uddacha? From Panchanivana. Uddacha, Kukkucha. But Kukkucha has been taken out. But Uddacha is there. That means restlessness. Every time you may have done a bad act in the past, if you are still driven at this moment, in the future, if you do any bad act, you have moha, ahirika, anottappa, uddacha. That means you have ignorance, you have lack of moral shame, you have lack of moral fear, and you have restlessness. Actually, people are restless. If they take a moment of time, why should I do this? This is pretty bad, very cruel, huh? Very impure thing. Why should I do? They don't take a moment of time to think about it. Just do it, right? So now my point here is that now you understand from Abhidhamma that whenever somebody is to do a bad karma, any bad karma, let's say particularly the akusala, they are carried by these 4. We call them universal akusala mental factors. Okay. And then there are a couple for the dosa hatred group, and then a couple for the, I would say, lobha group, and a couple for the miscellaneous group. I'm not going to talk all that here, but I would like to touch upon something here. The first thing, Chanda. How do people commit bad acts through Chanda? Okay, can somebody tell me what is Chanda? Now you have the translation with you. What is Chanda? There are many meanings, huh? Find the right meaning. Chanda.
Is it desire?
Yeah, that is what you see in the translation, that is desire. If you say Chanda, that is desire. If you say simple Chanda, not CH, that's gonna be the moon, and here desire. It could be your vote, Chanda, right? Could be your vote, your preference. It's pretty much desire. Is desire always bad?
No.
I hope you're not falling into a trap now here, Kim. How could you explain that?
Desire is not a bad thing. Desire means like you want to achieve something, so it's a good thing. unless your desire is you want to kill or you're greedy, you want to take something from somebody, that is a bad desire lah. But if you have a desire to achieve something, I think that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
That's a good start actually for this conversation about desire. But where is the problem here? Where's the problem here? Why we are looking at this as a problematic thing? Where's the problem?
Are you looking at desire as in greed?
No. I'm not even coming to the context of desire yet. I'm asking fundamentally, where is the problematic thing here? Is it Chanda or desire? The problem is with the English word called desire. The English word desire has a lot of meanings. It is even connected to Sigmund Freud, right? It's a very complicated term in philosophy and psychology. Right?
It's the mind. It's in the mind.
Yeah, it's in the mind, but Kim, there are a lot of what you call contextual meanings given by philosophers about desire. If you talk to a philosopher, you will get ended up somewhere you never think with this term. So the problem is not understanding the proper translation of Chanda. Okay, you can simply translate Chanda to be desire. But what is Chanda? Chanda means willingness. But it is not connected to the proper English usage here, because these are Americans who translated just by desire, because they think desire is a problem in Western cultures. If you have desire, you probably involving, spoil stuff, be spoiled by something, be badly persuaded by something. But if you know Pali, you understand Chanda is more into willingness. And now let's question, can there be a willingness towards the bad things? Can there be a willingness to good things? Yes. Right? You have a willingness, right? That is why we say, do you have a desire to attain Nibbana, or do you have a willingness to attain Nibbana? Is that a good question? Do you have a desire to attain, become an Arahant or Sotapanna, or do you have a willingness to attain an Arahant or Sotapanna? What could be a technically more, sensible, explanation? Because English has a lot of words and stuff, it's a bit difficult to understand sometimes. I would say Chanda could be more into willingness, the idea. If you read Girimananda Sutta, there was a monk who got what is that disease called? Today's called, I think that is called small pox. He got a lot of big blisters. Nobody went closer to him because it's contagious, very fast, contagious. Smallpox. And then the Ananda, Buddha told Ananda, can you learn these 10 things and then teach them? I think Buddha went in person. He is the one who actually begged him. The Buddha by himself. He said, you don't have mother's body in the temple, take care of other mothers. Right? In that conversation, Buddha says, Chandam Janeti Viryang Aravati Chittam Hata. That means we have to create Chanda, willingness for the good. Okay, now why is it given? Why is the word Chanda given as a reason for doing bad activity? Of course, it's very clear. You may have a willingness to do bad things, right? It's very, very clear, right? You probably may come up with some other things to have a willingness to do bad. That is Chanda. What are the other ways to look at this thing? When you have a preference for something, when you have a willingness out of the preference, what can you do? Sometimes you recruit the bad guys into a company, into a workplace, and then what will happen to the workplace in a short amount of time? You get the bad people, ineligible people, the company will drop. right? And you ordain the wrong people, right? Because you have a preference driven by the Chanda. You don't know the right person, right? For the workplace, for other things, right? Now, there is one sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya, Buddha uses Chanda. Buddha says there is somebody who is serving other people with the meals. If he has favoritism to somebody, he serves that person a lot, not equally with other people. So that person is eating a lot. So that favoritism, nepotism, favoritism, is it a problem? It is a problem, right? So the Buddha says, if you maintain nepotism, favoritism, you are going astray. You are deviating your Dhamma path. That is the idea here. But some people might say, no, it's okay. These are friendly folks. They are very close to me, so I gotta give them a lot. I don't like those people, right? You decide people based on how much they mean to you, how much they give to you. But they are good people, very good people, but they are not good with you for some reason, right? These characters don't, look to be compatible. That is why the Buddha, there is a saying in Sanskrit, it is better to keep the intelligent enemy rather than the stupid friend. Is that a good thing? Remember the story, the female monkey. There was a king in Sanskrit, Hinduism. He had a female monkey. The female monkey really loves the king. So one day he saw there was a fly set on the body of the king. He was sleeping. So the female monkey grabbed the sword and, how come you sit on my lovely king? So he actually smashed the body of the king, because the friend is a stupid friend. We should not be with lovely stupid friends, because the stupid people are stupid all the time, unwise, foolish people. That's why the wise enemy is good. He or she might be not good with us, but they won't do any wrong things to us. They know what it is. It's interesting, right? So Chanda means when you do your favoritism, do it equally. I mean, don't bring, I would say, don't bring this favoritism. I mean, especially, I'm not talking about your family, right? Okay, yeah, we can take family too. You have a couple kids, 2-3 kids, you have 2 daughters, 1 son. You don't say, my favorite is my first daughter, right? You don't say like that. You are carrying everybody equally. You're giving the same love to everybody. That is a big secret of the success, right? At work, outside. Because if you maintain that mentality, you are not falling apart from your Dhamma path. Make sense? Any questions about it? Any questions about these first reasons of why some people are doing bad things? It is because of their favoritism towards
I have
others.
one question, Bhante.
Yeah.
Now, normally then, we give more favorite, for example, once you go to temple in Bhante and all these spiritual persons, right? Then other religions also. Then at that time, sometimes we don't give priority to our other members or friends. For example, if you go to temple or something like that, is it also a bad thing, or then how it's matched with that kind of a situation?
Now remember how I started the discussion. I said willingness. Chanda has good side and bad side. Now we started dealing with the bad side, right? So still we are talking the bad side, because people are driven by the bad kind of Chanda, right? Now, why you go to the temple? Because you know this is Sammaditthi, right? Because it is said that believing a Buddha, believing a teacher who does not teach how to end the suffering is a horrible crime, because it's a crime to us. So we don't charge other folks, non-Buddhists. So there is a good side of Chanda. Chanda goes 2 ways, but people have messed up this thought, this idea. So they use the good side to, you know, how to call, to maintain their favoritism. Actually, I don't think that you go to the temple because you have a favoritism. I think you have a choice. You made a choice for that. It's a choice. It's a willingness for a good cause, right? Now, for example, if you know that there's a charity, the charity takes a lot of admin fees. Let's say you're going to donate $100, and you find out that 40 out of that $100 goes to admin fee. So I want to give my $100 to the charity. So you have a preference. I'm not gonna go to XYZ organizations. I'm gonna go to this one. I know there are no admin fees. There maybe a very little. So it is not bad chanda. It is a good chanda. But what about you are somebody in the panel of the recruiters? You think, okay, I don't like these guys. I like only this guy. What is that meant by? It's a very wrong decision. One day, this appointment will create a loss in the company or other places. Probably you are somebody working for the government, working for other, you have a favorite ways of, you know, treating somebody this way, somebody this way. That will create a lot of chaos, right? And you are a father, you are a mother, and you have children. And, you know, with the stories we hear from many people, they say that my mom did not teach me very well. You know, I found out somebody sometimes ago. I treat my mom, but I personally went to what I want in my studies, but she did not guide me, you know, right? So probably she likes somebody in the family, right? So these are the problems. So if you are a mother or father, you have to treat every child equally. Give the same love to everybody. If you are a monk, you have to treat every dayaka equally, not the rich one this way, poor one this way, right? This is one other reason. If you you take in your own way. I mean, there are many people who are involved with the public service, you know. So there is a good side of the chanda, the good chanda and the bad chanda. The good chanda is you want to attain Sotapanna, so you make your own decisions, right? And then your personal decisions, especially common things. But if you are a service provider, then definitely you should not do this favorite stuff, because it's gonna be a problem, right? It's not like you go to a shop, right? You go to a shop and then you get, okay, I'm gonna buy this chocolate brand. Does it mean that you have favoritism to the chocolate company? Right? You're going to buy this chocolate brand. Does it mean that you have a no? It's your personal choice. Now this means exactly any impact that you create, the greater good of the society. Right? That is the idea of favoritism and nepotism. Nepotism is, of course, is a problem. Any questions about chanda? How you can go astray, or how you can be deviated from your now, Dhamma folks? The most important thing here is that once you start doing favorite stuff, you are going astray. You are going straight, but you are going away from your path. You are deviating. That is a big issue, right? It's going to be a big issue for your development, your progress of your Dhamma. Any more questions about this at this level? Otherwise, we can go to the second one. Chanda. Okay, we'll then move on. Chanda, dosa. Dosa means
Hatred.
hatred. Does dosa have a good side? No, there's only one side. Dosa is dosa, right? Dosa means dosa. That means anger. There's no lame causes, lame reasons to excuse from somebody that I have this anger for different reasons. So do you think people make a lot of bad actions out of hatred in this world? A lot, probably more than the desire, more than the chanda, bad for the chanda. Any thoughts about it? It's pretty clear, right? Were there moments in your life where you were angry, but you did not treat other people well? Do you have such moments? Do you regret for those people and the moments that end about you? Yeah. Just because I'm bad, why should I treat other people the same way? Right? Hatred. It is said in Buddhism in many places, if you are too much into attachment, greed, if you are too much into anger, there are two very possible consequences of your next life. If you're too much into lobha, you're going to be a hungry ghost. If you are too much into hatred, dosa, you're going to be a possible snake in your immediate life because the anger, right? It is commonly said, even it is said that King Ashoka became a python in Himalayas because he, at the moment he died, he was unhappy about something. He was a little irritated about something. So he died. He became a big python in the Himalayas. So see the person who ordained his son and then his daughter, who made the Sanghayana, who sent Buddhism to many countries, including Sri Lanka and Thailand, Burma. What happened to him? Irritated the last moment. So samsara is very dangerous. Huh? Not samsara, our thought moments are very dangerous. We have to be very careful. Take care of each moment. Right? So anyways, lot of problems, lot of injustice happen to other people from us because of anger. Right? Any thoughts about it? I remember there was a teacher in one of the places I know back in Canada. This gentleman always talk about anger management. Pretty interesting. So he always, okay, what if you make a conversation with him, he always talk about, anger is so bad, we gotta get it over, we gotta overcome it. So he was appointed to teach to Dhamma school students in that temple, and partly he was an instructor, and he has 2 PhDs. Interesting. So much knowledgeable. So one day when he went to the class, 2 students were discussing today also he's going to talk about anger management. He's so frustrated, right? Every day it is anger management. And then he heard about it. He stopped the class, went away and reported the monk. These children laugh at me. I'm going to come to the class. Stop the class and blame all the children, even to the good children. And then when the 2 children were questioned, why did you laugh at him? They said, yeah, it was our bad. But you know what? But he can't be that mad, right? Because he was talking about anger management every day for 10 weeks. He was a man. So how do we learn it? Right? It's a big concept. Sometimes even when you talk about anger management, you can be angry. You can be mad, right? So a lot of problems, injustice, a lot of bad acts happen out of anger. Anybody wants to give your thoughts before we discuss more things about hatred? Do you know a word called short temper? Short temper. Some people are short tempered, right? Easily get irritated even from a small thing, huh? Right? It's not a good thing, right? Takes time to become a better person, but it's not a good thing. So there are many people who do bad acts out of anger. That is a what you call a deviation, right? It is a deviation from our Dhamma path. Then how do we respond to angry reactions? Now, for example, somebody is trying to mean to us. How do we respond to them? May I ask from one of you, because I want to know how you respond to those people in your life. Let's say somebody is going to be mean to you at a certain point. I don't know, probably maybe in the past, now, or future. So how do you respond to them? Do you respond in the same way? I would like to know from all of you, probably. So it's a good thing to know.
I think it's depend on the situation, right? For example, if there's any life threaten or anything for us from
Yeah.
it, at that time we tried our best to
Defend.
withdraw and defend.
Yeah.
Then
let's I would say take it to a normal level of anger, not like life-threatening situations. Of course, you have to call the police and then take whatever. Not such ones. I mean, we don't get such events quite often. Very rarely we might get. How do you respond to daily irritations, meanness from, it's an interesting thing, right? I'm not saying that you have enemies, right? I'm not thinking that way. Because things don't happen the way you want. Sometimes, people shout, people rant, people can become grumpy. So how do you respond to those people, and pretty much, if not the people, the situations? Yeah, Sadhis?
Try to keep taking some deep breath. At the same time, try to analyze why the person get angry, why he's doing it to you. See, is it my fault?
Yeah.
And find the reason not to get angry.
Yeah, that's a very good advice. I would say it's a very good suggestion. I really like it. This is what I also believe, because even before analyzing what's happening, some people become angry, right? You don't know what actually happened, but you're already angry. So how do you analyze it? How do you understand it, right? Yeah, it's a good suggestion. So don't be angry, just analyze what's going on. Is it my problem? Is it somebody else's problem? So you patiently reviewing, and then try to not react but respond. People react to bad situations, but don't react. Reactions are mostly the similar things, but respond with good analysis of what's happening. Okay, what else?
At the same time, you can, even though it's not your fault or anything, just admit your mistake and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me if I'm wrong.
That's another very good thing. Yeah, very interesting. What else?
Sadiris, it's easier said than done.
That's why you have to put into practice.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, we could say like that. We could say that to anything, right? Even to the Buddha's practice, Buddhism, we can say this is easier than said, right? But where is our practice then? Standing, lying. So I think this is practically possible, right? So it is practically possible. But the thing is that it takes some practice too, right? It takes some practice. So as you said, not becoming angry even before you know what it is, and then to evaluate and then see, and then if it is from my side, giving an apology. But if the apology is not admitted by the other person, it's going to be a problem. But you are safe. You are making safe.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody wants to add anything?
Bhante, sometimes I prefer to leave the person the space for them to work in their emotion. Just giving them the space and not adding or minus too much. Giving the space to the person to work out the emotion.
Yeah.
And I will, sometimes I do really, in the mind, is to really giving the metta, like that loving kindness, that it will be good for them to just review and have a good reflection without adding more and minus.
Yeah. So walking away from the
giving them the space, because
yeah.
when they are angry, they need the space, and I just let them be. And then really in my heart really felt that I think the metta, loving kindness, to practice the other way is to wish them the best that they can manage their emotion.
But keep in mind the subject matters, the point of discussion matters, because the anger, frustration, all go with the subject point. It's a very good idea too. But sometimes some people don't like we leave the place. They say, you don't care what I said to you. Like they want us to be with them sometimes. It's some people, I'm not saying everybody. Some people are very different. So, but this is a very good way. So the other person knows that you are not retaliating, you are not answering back. You need peace, and probably this is very intellectual, educated thing to do. It's very good. You are not adding more weight onto the reason of anger.
Sister Hema,
Yeah.
in this case, are you saying that the person is angry because you made him angry or her angry, and then you just give her space?
Now we haven't talked about the details. Okay, don't get into that because putting her into difficulty.
I think Bhante is very important for us to be joyful and happy. So I attract the people that I see. If I'm angry and I cannot, I don't have the energy to move on to, to really, I just move on and be happy.
Okay.
The situation is like that. Okay, I accept it. And we move on. That person have their behavior, everybody have a different way of handling their emotions.
That's very good. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Kim, there's no one way to handle an unpleasant situation. Right? It is not Sadhiri's way, it is not Hema's way, it is their way, but it's very good how they handle. So we should have our own way, probably a combination, a blend of all these things. Right? Because we are different, right? This is such a good thing, but how do I do it in my life? Especially because I am known to other people in a certain way. Is it so? Now you are known to your friends and other people in a certain way. They say, I know how you rant. I know how you gossip about me, behind me, right? So we are dealing with a lot of things like that. So we have to make our own understanding in responding. So this is I think not becoming angry and then apologizing, evaluating a little bit, and then giving space. These are all harmless, very gentleman type responses. I like it, right? What are the other ways that you follow? Otherwise, I think that you are into reactions, huh? What are the other ways that we can deal with an angry situation?
But I think it's a matter whether we want to accept the anger that somebody or anything that towards us, that come towards us, whether we want to accept it or we just leave it. People can talk a lot behind, but it's their idea. We should know better about ourselves. What is our how to say? How is about our what we want to do, and we know about ourselves. So when people gossiping, it's just about their opinions, not true our true self. We know about ourselves better than all these small matters. It's just like nothing.
Yeah. So we don't consider such conversations to be a problem. At the same time, I think there's something very interesting to all of us here. Now, some people think I should be more angry today because that person told me something very heavy to me. So look, going after the weight of the truth or the lie, they think they want to be angry to match up the gravity of that thing, right? It's like how we get fever, right? When you are in a cold country, you go out without your gears, your what you call your dresses. Then what happens? The body is trying to match up the temperature, outside temperature. In the same way, there are people, I think one of the very big reasons why people getting angry, they are good people, very good people, but they suddenly become mad because they are looking at the society depending on the truth and the false, I would say the lie and the truth, right? So I think with all what you said, Hema, Sadhris and all, Aliana, I was trying to look at kind of a very non-harmful mechanism that we can use when anybody is angry for a truth, even for a lie. Because we have to take care of us, we have to take care of them. That is very important in Buddhism. It's not like, for example, there might be somebody who lied to us. We know he or she lied to us. And then we become very angry. I never thought that you did this thing to me already. Now, the initial mechanism should be to take care of, both these people themselves, right? Rather than try to evaluate how heavy is the truth, how heavy is the lie, right? In America, there is the insightful meditation societies. They are branches. They presented, I think I already discussed with you, an acronym for this, how to tackle our anger or frustration or any kind of bad emotion. They said it in one word, one very beautiful word, RAIN, R-A-I-N, not the physical rain, R-A-I-N. RAIN stands for a mechanism, like a step-by-step process that we can do when we are negatively driven, how we are supposed to act, respond, not react. R stands for recognize. There's something wrong here. That's it. R stands for recognizing, to recognize, and A stands for accept. You accept the fault or something that's going on. And then I stands for investigate in many dimensions: physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, right? In other ways. So you understand, why is this happening? Physically, mentally, right? Sometimes you only look at it physically. Why you like this? But look at, oh, this person may be having a problem in the mind, right? So mentally, emotionally, or something else. So if you look at the negative emotion that is happening within us, then investigate. R stands for recognize, A stands for to accept or admit, and I stands for investigate in multiple ways. Then R-A-I-N. N stands for anatta. Very interesting. Non-identify. Do not identify this person or negative emotion with you, right? What does it mean? Do we construct us or do we deconstruct us all the time? What do we do? What do we do in our daily life? Do we construct things or do we construct us? Deconstruct us. Let's say something happened. You are trying to put you with that situation all the time, especially the bad emotions. That is atta. You create more atta. But you should do anatta. You should not identify you with those people. That is the final solution to all these frustrations. Non-identification. Do not identify you with those people, those reactions. But don't try to talk a lot about your practice. That will create more impact. I would say chaos. I am a Buddhist. I meditate. I don't care about you. Are these people? That guy will be more angry. Really? I have to accelerate my anger now because you are not accepting me, right? Just keep your valuable practice to you. Don't just, blow the trumpet. It's not a need here, Just keep that to you. Okay, we talked a lot about anger. So because of anger, you may most of the time do bad acts. So now you know the anger, how you need to, face it, right? We have very valuable things we discuss. And then third one is bhaya. What is bhaya? Bhaya means fear. So we may commit bad acts out of fear. When we are feared. Now what happens to an animal, to a snake? Why do snakes attack us? Because they are feared. They think there is a threat to their life, right? But there are some people thinking that snakes are going to attack us all the time. Right? I don't think that. Yeah. So it's because they think it's a threat, because they have a safety problem, right? So in our life also, just because you are feared, do not make decisions, because if you make decisions out of fear, you may create a lot of injustice. among others. But there are some circumstances. You have to be careful. I'm not saying that, let's say you have a situation where somebody is trying to threaten you. You should do this, otherwise I'm going to attack you. That's a different situation. You have to understand how best you can, approach the situation. But except that situation, if you are free, if you can make your own decisions, make your own decisions without fear, right? Otherwise, you will create bad acts, bad karma. And then finally, ignorance. Actually, ignorance is the reason to do bad acts out of Chanda, Dosa, Bhaya, because you are ignorant, right? That ignorance simply doesn't mean that the higher level of avijja. It simply means that you are not understanding what it is. As Sadhris suggested, we need to give some time to know what is happening. So we will understand more rather than trying to, pick on somebody, right? That's not good. So these are the four places or reasons for many people, many beings to do bad acts. So we have to walk away from Chanda, the bad Chanda, and Dosa, Bhaya, Moha. Chanda means willingness to do bad acts. Dosa means anger, because there's no anger justified. In the West, there is a concept that you can be angry for injustice, but we don't have that idea. Say, if somebody is mistreating you, go outside, protest. Protesting is okay, but the problem is anger, because anger can create you a person to physically harm, right? Mentally harm. Some people harm other people on social media, right? It's pretty easy to write something. Right? Be careful. And then third one is fear. We have to review how fear can give me a hard time to make bad decisions in my life and for other people's lives. And then ignorance. Without knowing what it is, we should never make a decision or any preference. Okay, any questions about what we've been talking today? So we talked about the four. Okay, there's a Pali word for this, agati. Yeah? Four agati. Agati means going astray or deviate. Four deviations. So what we discussed today is four deviations. Say like this. Okay, Chan, we hear you. I see that ignore those who try to make you angry. But be careful when you ignore, because we have said giving more chaos. Do it smart. Radiate metta to those who irritated you, forgive them. But Brutus writes, laugh at them. Huh? It's going to be a careful thing. Huh? Careful. Okay. So here, what we did today are 4 deviations to our Dhamma practice. So are they then important? 4 deviations. If so, if it is a deviation to our Dhamma practice, is it very important to us? Yeah, it is very important to us. Okay, any questions before we do our sharing? Come on. So the final 2 verses show a summary, but I will read that after questions. It is the same thing.
Bhante, then this I don't remember that Bhante then for Buddha's time asked to permission to go to and meditate in Sunapananta area. At that time, Buddha's teach and ask many questions. That means that is the more dangerous area at that time in India. So according to that, actually the situation, Buddha has given many examples, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So his name was Punna, a monk. he was asking the Buddha that could I go to Sunaparatta? It is said that Sunaparatta could be the modern Afghanistan, probably Saudi Arabia. I think Afghanistan could be part of the Gandhara, I guess. And then Buddha asked questions whether to check if he is patient enough to deal with the people there for the Vassa. That means there are very violent people that some monks had to be with him during the Vassa time, right? So the Buddha was asking, what if that, if it's going to harm you with stones and then the sticks and all that. The monk said that it's okay. So he was trying to, this is kind of an exceptional case actually. It doesn't mean that we have to accept violence from somebody. I think nobody talks about this a lot. Everybody says you should not attack anybody. Yes, 100%, that is true. But you should not let other people attack you too. Otherwise, this society is gonna be a mad place, right? Like people are getting bullied. So and today's world is not the world that the Buddha dealt with. At that time, the kings do whatever they want. But now, even the international countries can do crimes, war crimes, and genocides. People are more concerned in many ways. So, I think because of the time change and the thing, I think we have to look at those stories like Sunaparatta's story, Puna stories, little differently. So, I would like to say. The first thing here is that we are not supposed to attack anybody, and others are not supposed to attack us too. These two sections go hand in hand. So, and it is not only my idea, it is the idea of the legal cohort, and then the whole international world. No country advises to kill other people. Take care of it. There is legal assistance and everything. There may be some issues, but that is the wider public idea across the world. So, right. And I would like to give you a trick for this section. Not a trick, a smart idea. Let's say somebody is trying to attack you. How do we respond to that? And there were folks who were discussing many things here. It's good, very good. Remember that story where a snake wanted to take precepts? I think I shared with you, right? Then the snake was, I think he was stuck by a farmer. He didn't do anything because he took precepts. Huh? A good snake, huh? A cobra, probably cobra. And then in the evening, normally when you take precepts at that time, you have to go to see the master time to time. The master asks us, how is your precept now? Are you keeping your precept very well? It's a normal custom. So the cobra also went to the temple in the evening. And then from afar, the tapasa, I would say, the ascetic asked from the cobra, hi, how is your precepts today? You took it today. Was it a hard time? See what happened. My whole body is swollen because of the precept. And he asked, what happened to you? Because I was just going somewhere. A farmer stuck me to a firewood thing, and I did not do anything. See what happened to me. See what the precepts gave me. Then the ascetic gave him a very nice idea, good idea. Okay, what do the precepts tell us? Not to kill, but it doesn't show that you have to be smart enough to spend the time. Let's say if there is somebody who's going to attack you, you could have shown that you are a cobra. You didn't show that you are a cobra, right? You were simply silent, right? So that means sometimes you have to a little bit show that I'm there, I'm there in a better way, so other people won't bully you. If you show yourself like a very weak person, what will happen to you? Do you think other people will just say, oh, he's a very smart guy or silent guy? No, they probably misuse you. So you have to know how to be smart. It is not bad. It is not going away from the precepts, right? So taking care of the precept means that you know how to behave everywhere, anytime, with anybody. That's how we have it. Okay, any question? We'll take one more minute. Till you come up with a question, let me read the last two stanzas. It's the same thing about the summary. Idamavocha Bhagava, the Buddha said this way, Idang Vatva Sugato Atha Parang Etadavocha Satta. Having said this by the Buddha, he also said a couple other things. That means a summary of the idea here. Chanda dosa bhaya moha yodhammang ativattati. If somebody is going to deviate chanda dosa bhaya moha, what will happen to him? Nihiyati yasotas kalapakkeva chandima. This is a pace of the moon. What is kalapakke? Kalapakke means waning moon. Waning moons means there is a pace in which the moon's visible surface area is getting smaller, not very bright, right? That means that brightness means your progress in your life. Right? Your progress of your spiritual life has become very weak, very small, because you are driven by Chanda Dosa Bhaya Moha in a bad way. But Chanda Dosa Bhaya Moha Yo Dhammang Nativat. If you are somebody like Arya Savaka, who is not driven by, deviated by Chanda Dosa Bhaya Moha, Apurati Asotasa, your fame, your progress advances just as Sukkapakkeva Chandima. What is Sukkapakka? That means waxing sun, not waning sun. Waxing sun means, what is waxing sun? A pace of the moon where the moon gets more sunlight on it as the days go by. So the moon is so bright, it gets so much sunlight. So your life will be that bright, that progressive. So that is the end of the section about the Chatutthana, the focus. So we can do the 6 squandering ways of money. It's pretty interesting. The Buddha talks about 6 cha apaya mukhani. This is going to be the section for next Friday. I think there are no questions, I guess. Are there? Okay, looks like no questions. So we will transfer good.